Hi, so I wanted to go with you over the basics, doing my series of the basics 101 for jewelry making, and today I wanted to talk about the files because this is an important part of the process of jewelry making that should not be underestimated because the work will depend on what quality of files you have, roughly speaking, and how you use them, and I'm going to show you how to use it, the basics of the basics. So here I'm not going to go into much depth about the mandrels and the abrasive wheels you can use, even though I'll show you briefly what you can use as an addition to the files. And I will just, in my mind, I focus on people that don't have a big budget, so these are the essentials as far as I'm concerned. So the first file you will need, remember that it goes with grit, roughest to the finest, same with emery paper. So I would advise you to get one rectangle file, which is the roughest one. I would also advise you, when you purchase them online, they usually don't have the Swiss made, which are the best brands. If you can find Swiss made, usually it's quality things that are a bit more pricey, but they last a lifetime if you take care of them properly. So the Swiss made ones don't come with a handle. Usually you have a wood handle, but you can purchase online wood handles to put on them, or the plastic ones are also available. There are many things out there. Well, I've been using them for years like that, but I do admit that it's more comfortable to have an handle. But if you're starting and you don't want to pay too much, just buy one like that, a rough one. Then medium grit that I found in the hardware store that does the job. I would advise you to have this one with one side flat and the other rounded, because then you can do a lot of things with this without having to buy too many. And the really useful ones are the files kit you can find on eBay and on jewelry supply stores, because you have a variety of things that can be helpful in different situations. Those are a bit finer than the rest, and you can even go to a finer grit, but then again, if you're starting, you can use emery paper with the roughest grit to then keep on doing the work to do your pre-polish with it. A round one is really useful, and the one that I need to purchase that I would recommend you to get looks a bit like, not this one, looks a bit like that. It's a triangle shape, and there's only one side with the filing thing, and the two other edges are smooth, so you can really go in depth in small places without filing everything if you only need to file one size. So those are really handy, and they're not really pricey. Those ones were not really pricey. When it comes to the abrasive wheels, you can find a lot of them online. I'm just going to show you the roughest one. Usually are the black one or the white one, and the corundum one, that are a material that is super strong. They get worn out very fast, but they do the job. They're really efficient to do the job. But this is just really, there's a lot more to say about it, but I'm not going to focus on this because this episode is about the files. So here is a bracelet I need to shape, and before shaping it, it's easier to work on all the stuff that has to be done. It's just out of the pickle. I could have used emery paper to kind of take off the kind of white coat that happens when you put it in the pickling pot. This is how it should look like when it comes out of the pickle, super white. So I'm going to use the medium grit because I just want to start smoothing the edges so that the bracelet doesn't hurt when I put it on or somebody puts it on. And this is the basic way. You will try to make the best use out of your bench pin. As far as I've done it here, I've made the newbie mistake, by the way. I don't know why I did that, because it's not the first time I do it. But I would really recommend you to make a slot in the middle usually, but not that wide. I did mine way too big. The slot should have stopped there. And you can also make little kind of, even use your files to make on each side some kind of mini slot, if I can say. It's really handy for round wires and such to block them and file the top usually. So here I'm going to use this side. So remember, the dominant hand that handles the file has to be really flexible, and I like to put my index to really keep control on what I'm doing and holding it pretty tight. The second hand, you have to see it as some sort of vice that doesn't move and holds what needs to be filed pretty damn strongly, you know, so it doesn't move and you don't do a mess. The way it goes is that we tend to think that only the wrist and the hand does the job, but no, it's actually the entire arm that has, you will see that you move to get the job done. One thing that you also need to keep in mind, don't go like that, except if there's really rough work that you're going to do with the roughest file. If you want to go fast, sometimes I do it in my videos, but the real way to do it, and I need to put it here, voila. You always go from in one direction. You never go back and forth, one direction only. And really use the whole length of the file to do the job. And what I was saying with the fact of the movement, you really need to put, you can't go really, you need to be kind of sure in your movement. Don't go, it has to go one way and boom, you see? Don't be shaky, be quite frank in the way you do the movement. Same when you have to use this to make round shapes, you just go follow the movement of the wrist. It starts with the hand, the wrist, and then the arm, the forearm, and so on. So really use all you can use and your body in the most efficient way possible. And this will really help you to keep the direction going, you know. And you can even then move and incline kind of with the second hand to go even faster. So this is the basic way to do it. There are more subtleties that I will not broach here because it depends on the project, but if you want to know the basic of how to use the file properly, this is it. But keep in mind that this is only my way, it's not I don't possess the ultimate truth, but it's been working pretty efficiently, and I hope this will be out of service for you too. I also wanted to share something else that might be useful if you're starting, and not only actually if you're starting, but those are kind of sticky tape that you can put on your fingers. You wrap them around your fingers and they will protect your fingers from getting filed, so you don't really have to do this, but this is also a great option to have if you want to protect your fingers. The last thing I forgot to mention that I'm going to put in this video because it's in the topic is a file cleaner. It looks like that. I think I bought mine on Rio. You could definitely get yours on eBay or Rio Grande. And the way to use those, you can use it when you feel the need of it, when you feel that the files are getting really there's a lot of material in there. That's when you will want to use that. So I know that the files are crossed, like the lines are crossed. So I usually go one way and then the other way, like that. And it usually gets rid of all the excess material that is stuck there. And you might want to do this quite once or twice a month if you do intensive jewelry making and intensive use of your files. So handy little tool that will save you time and money on the long run, I believe. Voila, that's it for today. I hope this was out of service. Keep in mind that if you want to know more about jewelry making, you can check down below in the description box. There's an entire thing on my website that is dedicated to jewelry making and to the basics, using videos and files so that you can start learning what you need to if you're just beginning and you would like to know how to use properly the basic tools. Voila, I'm done for today and I'll see you around. Bye!